Welcome back to the Eastern Plains of Colorado here on McCaffrey Farms. I'm home for the weekend. It's actually still Friday. I didn't have any classes, so I came home early. And I getting ready to head down to the field because they're picking corn. They started yesterday, which would have been Thursday the 7th. They got one half done last night. That's about all we can really get done with an 8-row on the 9600. But they probably don't have too terribly much done on the second half. So I'm gonna go down and help them finish that. And that's what we're doing today. So let's go pick some corn. I don't know if you can tell through the camera, but the wheat is doing pretty dang good. This is one of the last drilled fields. Looking pretty good. Did the calculation. I think the north half came out to 205 bushel an acre, so it's doing pretty good. This half is a little sandier, so it might not do quite as good, but it's doing pretty decent. All right, for now I'm gonna be running the grain cart for a little bit. Kayla has been running it, but right now she's riding in the combine with Justin. So I'm gonna run this until we get the first two trucks full. Then I'll run Justin's truck, Dad will run his, Kayla will run this, Justin will keep running the combine. I'm gonna go get Dad once I get off these rough roads against the way I cultivated. Then follow Justin down because they were saying they weren't being able to make it quite all the way down on the longer rows, so we'll have to follow them down. Then I'll have to cut a bit of a spot out once they're about full. One disadvantage to irrigated is you can't really get to the combine very quick, especially this circle. This circle has some bad sprinkler tracks, and so it makes it hard to go fast because some of them get pretty rough. That one wasn't too bad, but just got Dad's truck full. First load off of this half. It must be doing pretty similar to the other one. Hopefully it does. It'd be nice for it to average 200 bushel or a little better. But I guess we'll see. Like I said, the south half, it gets pretty sandy, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how well the south half does. believe that is load number 5. Yeah, that should be load number 5. We got the first land that Justin started done. It was a fairly big one. Mom got started on this second one. Justin should be back for too long, then we can get started on that one. But I still have a little bit on, not a whole lot. I should be fairly full by the time he gets back. When I got back, the grain cart just got full. I was basically full once Dad got back. So for a 8-row and 9600, the 2 trucks are just barely keeping up, so must be doing pretty good. They've been going about 3 miles an hour. They said that's been about where it seems like it's cleaning it the best and not throwing a bunch over. They said there's been being very little on the ground and it's getting it all off the cob. So old 9600's still doing pretty good. And we got a little bit of a row of shade going on. 3 rows to be more exact. That's not Mom's fault. Dad counted wrong for her. At least they didn't try and blame it on the grain cart guy. I get to run the combine at least for a little bit. Kayla just came back. She's gonna run the grain cart, and then Mom's gonna go watch Hazel. And since Justin's running his truck, that leaves me to run combine. Just got done with that last land, so opening up a new one. Should be able to make it all the way through, just because the rows are getting a little shorter. But so far the corn's still looking pretty good. I'm doing the second pass opening up this next land, and I'm unloading right now, but we've gotten to where we've just been putting the auger part way out. Still gets close enough to the other side of the grain cart that it's pretty close on shooting it over. Even with the shorter augers on the 9600s, 8 rows still isn't quite enough, so it just makes it a little bit nicer not having it all the way out, and it still puts it more in the middle of the grain cart. Still picking corn. Doing pretty good so far. If this half is worse than the other one, it's not going to be a whole lot worse, because I think we're about to get the 9th load filled with what I just dumped on Kayla, and they got 12 loads off the other half. There's still a decent amount, but I don't know if we'll quite get 12, so it'll probably be just enough to bump the average down to 190 or something, but it should still be pretty dang near 200 bushel corn, which is awesome. That's gonna be great. All right, I'm just getting to the end of the field here. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. I think Justin's truck is basically full, and so what's on the grain cart right now, he said will be plenty, and I'm fairly full. It's over the window, so we have enough to get the trucks full but not have the grain cart full, which is kind of where we want it. So I'm gonna dump what I have on Justin and then go park the combine somewhere and he can finish filling his truck up, and we're gonna call it a night for now, and then we'll finish up in the morning. So far that half is still doing pretty good. It might be pretty comparable to the north half at 205. It's hard to tell. I don't know exactly how much is left out there where it's dark. Justin's truck is going to be the 10th load, and they got 12 loads off of the north half, and so it'll be close. We should at least be able to get 11. It'd be nice if we get 12 and everything was 205. That'd be awesome, because then it'd average at 205. But I mean, even if that half only averages 195 or something, that still wouldn't be too bad either. So we'll take what we can get. So far it's still doing pretty good. Tomorrow morning we'll find out what it actually makes. All right, we are back today. Gonna get this circle of corn finished up. Not a whole lot left. Justin and I are gonna take the 2 trucks in while Mom and Kayla get it finished up, and then hopefully we have at least one more load to haul in, or a partial load. But we'll get this done, then we're gonna go look and see maybe if we can do some Milo. All right, I'm dumped. I'm gonna go way back empty, then I'll be heading back. And Justin was right behind me, so it won't take him too long either. And then hopefully it'd be awesome if both these trucks get full. That'd be sweet. But even if we can get a half load on his or something, that'd be pretty good too. This half might actually end up doing just as good as this other one. I'm leaving with load 10. We still got a pretty decent chunk left out there. And so we should get Justin's truck fairly full. We'll just have to see, but they should be done time I get back. So this will probably be my last load of corn. But like I said, hopefully Justin's is fairly full too. All right, it's quite a bit later. I'm in Justin's truck. Got a little bit on the front hopper of what's left from the cornfield. We got it done. He's gonna take the combine to Dad's house, and I'll take this in and take this back to his house. But didn't quite get this truck full, so it's not quite as good as the other half, but it's pretty dang close. We did go down and try some Milo with the 9770, but it's way too wet, and we're not sure if we have the right concaves in. We don't know. We've never had to deal with this. So I think Dad, in the next week or so, might try and talk to some neighbors that have 9770s and do Milo and are pretty good with those combines. Hopefully they'll be able to help us out, get it figured out, and then we'll go from there. We might have to wait for a freeze on that because it's still pretty green, so I don't know, we'll just have to see. But Milo harvest isn't happening this weekend, but Dad is swathing, so tomorrow I might end up doing some of that or something. I don't know. But for now, I'm gonna take this in. I'm taking the tractor down since we can't do any Milo. I'm gonna leave the grain cart here with the combine and truck. This is the field we tried. It's still way too wet. We'll probably have to wait for a freeze or something. I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna unhook the grain cart here, and I'm gonna take it down to where Dad's swathing with the 4640. We're gonna swap it, put this on the 8400, then I'll take the 46 home. That way we can get that hooked up to the baler and be ready for whenever we need to start baling. Grain cart is unhooked. I'm heading down to the field where Dad's swathing. The reason we're doing this is gonna be a lot nicer to use this tractor. We're not using this tractor at the moment, so we're gonna use it down there. And we're swathing because the feed's at a point where it's not really growing much more. And if it's gonna do anything, it's just gonna die. Just getting that late. And plus there's a freeze forecasted for later this week. Dad wants to try and get some of the feed that is still pretty green and probably a little bit better quality out before it freezes. And then whatever's left, if it's worth swathing, we'll go out and swath it. It didn't really take off very well. None of it's that great, but luckily we had that circle at home. And I think we're gonna be able to swath it again and at least get a little bit off of it. So that'll help out. But we're just gonna swath it, so in that way we can have a little bit better feed and just have that much more better quality hay. So since Milo's too wet and we can't do that, Dad's gonna try and get some of that knocked out here in the next few days. Then eventually here in the next day or two, I'll have to start baling some of it, because 2 or 3 days ago he swathed one field and he's on the second one now. So we'll just have to see where we're at on some stuff with it. But otherwise for right now, that's gonna be all. Hopefully you enjoyed the corn harvest video. Corn harvest was here, now it's gone. Circle averaged right at 200, like right on the dot. So that's nice. I know it's the best corn Dad's ever raised, so hopefully next year we can do even better on it and go from there. But corn harvest is here. Milo harvest isn't going to continue, so we're going to swath some hay. So for now, that's going to be all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it wasn't too corny, but for now, that's going to be all. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.